Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever and whenever you're accessing this on-demand content. My name is Caitlin Ugaretz. I am a PhD candidate at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and also a digital anthropologist of contemporary Japanese religion. It's my pleasure in this digital technology lightning talk to discuss how to hack your field notes by using the program Scribe to study online communities and practically anything you can find on the internet. To contextualize why and how I use the program Scribe for my digital ethnographic research, I want to tell you a little bit more about what I do. So my dissertation lies at the intersection between Japanese religion, social media, and digital media more broadly, and technology. I particularly study the growth of online Shinto communities and the globalization of the Japanese religion known as Shinto. And the communities that I study are primarily based on Facebook, but as with many digital and internet-based projects, my field site is more of a network of different disparate sources and pages and places on the internet. So in any given day, the people in the network that I study could post things on Twitter, Reddit, personal blogs, non-social media web pages, and also post documents like PDFs and photographs. So in my ethnographic research, I want to be able to account for all of these different kinds of media. When I first started my project, there were two basic approaches to taking digital field notes. The first is called two-boxing. Two-boxing involves using dual monitors or dual screens to have the content that you're analyzing on one screen and your field notes, some sort of note-taking document program running in the other. Another common way to take field notes is simply to write on top of screenshots. But there are a number of problems with screenshots and also taking field notes divorced from the digital content. So particularly for screenshots, when you're taking these images, the image sizes can be long and very unwieldy. Oftentimes you'll need to use a stitching program or use a screenshot taking program that does the stitching for you in order to put together the pieces of the screen as you scroll. The screenshotting process also flattens valuable data, including text and hypermedia. So hypermedia on the internet today can include likes, reacts, links, videos, anything that you can click and interact with in some way is hypermedia. And since screenshots are a static image, you lose that valuable data in the process. Managing an archive of screenshots also requires a robust organizational system and often external software for annotation like Tropy or Atlas TI. And programs like Atlas TI can also be extremely cost prohibitive, especially for graduate students. As a digital anthropologist, it is crucial that I follow as closely as possible the experience that my research participants have when they navigate the internet. And so I started to ask myself, how can I take digitally native field notes that, one, are directly linked to a particular document type, such as a Facebook post, an Instagram post, a PDF that's being circulated through the network, a blog post, a news article. Two, how can I preserve valuable text and hypermedia? And three, how can I take digitally native field notes that are easy to archive, organize, and analyze? And that leads me to the program that I would like to discuss today, Scribe. Scribe describes itself as a modern research and writing platform for school and work, and it truly has a number of different features for different purposes. But today I'm going to be focusing on how I use the platform to take digitally native field notes and archive web pages for my research. So what exactly can Scribe do? At its core, the Scribe platform provides powerful tools to save, manage, annotate, and share websites. So you can archive various kinds of websites that you can return to later, even if those websites and the content are deleted after you have archived a copy of them, and you can organize them within libraries. You can also use various various filtering and annotation tools to organize and search within your content. So any of the web pages that you would archive are fully text searchable, which is so useful. I really can't overstate it. For example, if I am studying a certain discussion that's going on in the community, and I remember a couple of keywords, but I can't remember exactly what the name of the post was or what the date of the post was, I can search within my library for that keyword and find all of the posts in which it pops up, which is incredibly useful. I can also add my own tags to web pages in order to organize them in a way that's convenient for me. I often organize things in terms of posts that discuss rituals, posts that discuss material objects in religious communities, posts that discuss certain kinds of media like anime and other sorts of themes, or discussion groups that discuss particular shrines. And this allows me to track a number of themes and discussions that are going on in the communities that I study. You can also use various annotating tools, which I think are very intuitive. You can highlight in a number of colors. You can also drop little post-it note comments on the sides, and you can even share those annotated web pages with other people, which is incredibly useful if you are working within a team of researchers. All of these features are available in the Scrible free plan, in which you're going to have one main library. And if you'd like to expand the features, I would highly recommend checking out Scrible EDU, which is a paid plan. It's $35 a year, and no, I'm not a paid promotional person for Scrible. I really just find the tool useful, and it's a lot cheaper for a graduate student like me than trying to get a license for something like Atlas TI, which can be $100 a year or every 2 years. So $35 is very manageable in my opinion. The Scribe education plan also includes various citation and bibliography tools. You can even import citations directly into Google Documents, which is a huge time saver. With the educational plan, you can also have as many libraries as you want, increased cloud storage. One of the really useful things I've found as I've created more and more annotated pages is the collated summary feature, which allows me to print out the highlights and the notes that I've made on a particular page. I found this really useful in kind of a second wave of analysis type of workflow. You also get access to more highlighting colors, more annotation styles, etc., and also multi-tag filtering. So the search and filtering tools just become much more robust in the educational plan. In Scribe, you can even create a highlighting color code for yourself so that you can remember, okay, blue stands for this kind of theme, or red stands for this particular analytical lens that I'm using. And that's incredibly useful, especially when you come back to web pages and you've forgotten what your color coding system is. It's very easy to follow. So now I'll share my screen with you so you can see what it looks like using Scribe to archive a web page. Now, out of respect for the privacy of the communities that I study on Facebook, I'm not going to demo how Scribe works on Facebook. So instead, I will demonstrate it on the Asahi Shimbun news website. All right, so here we have an Asahi Shimbun recent article about a shrine's omamori or amulets selling out after Naomi Osaka likely had one in Australia. So if we want to archive this web page, first we go up to the top of the browser. There is a little extension for Chrome. Chrome is the browser that I'm in right now. And if I just click the Scribe toolbar extension, these toolbars will pop up. As you can see, the page has already been automatically cached and stowed away in one of my Scribe libraries. Right now, the current library that I have things default to is my library. You can easily move pages and copy them to other libraries that you might have. And when you are reading or when you're ready to annotate, you can click around on the bottom to use any of these features, including highlighting. in a number of colors. Here's pink. It's very easy to change the colors. Now, as an educational plan subscriber, I have 32 different colors that I can play around with if I want to. And if I ever need to check my highlighting key, it's handily on the right hand side here under annotation key sidebar. I can also comment on things, on particular lines or anywhere on the page. I could add a comment. And as you can see, there's also a timestamp record of when I made those comments, which is particularly useful if you return to a page on the internet multiple times, and you can kind of see previous comments and add to that archive of your own comments. You can also add tags to particular comments as well as the document itself. Under the tags sidebar, you can add in a tag. For this one, I might put omamori, if I can spell. I might also add, what shrine is this? Shirasaki Hachimangu. You can also change the color of the text if you so choose. In addition to highlighting, you can also add underlines, you can bold things, you can make them italic, you can strike them through. I don't personally use these features, but it could be useful for other kinds of projects. Of course, there's the undo button. And then there are also a number of accessibility features. So for example, you can have text read aloud from the screen. There is an inbuilt translation function if you need it, as well as a definition section. And of course, you can give feedback and report problems. And of course, if you want to share this page with someone else, you can hit share down here and you can send that annotated page via email, Twitter, Facebook, and through a permanent link, which is super useful, again, if you're working in a team of researchers. So that's basically how Scrible works. And then if I want to access my library, I can sign in, and you can see here I've already been sent to my default library. It's just called My Library, and each of the pages that I have archived and annotated are in here. I can filter by tag on the left-hand side. I can go to particular sub-libraries that I have. You can also search by annotation if you choose. As you can see here, the comment that I just made is here. You can also see a little preview of what the text was that the comment was based on, highlights, that sort of thing, as well as creating a bibliography based on your preferred citation style and the sources that you want to include. There are also features to create an outline out of your annotations, as well as to add Google Docs that are connected to that library. You can also use a variety of metrics if you desire. That doesn't pop up so much in my research, but for example, sources by type is an interesting thing, just to see, what kinds of sources I've been looking at. So that's Scrible in a nutshell. I hope that little demo was informative and helps you to think about how Scrible could fit into your research workflow. But I just want to point out that no program is perfect. There are things that Scrible can't do or doesn't do as well as other programs. So particularly in the case of Facebook, Scrible can't capture information that's only revealed by your interaction with a website. For example, mousing over certain things on the page that reveals more data. That doesn't work with Scrible. It is a static web crawler type of web archiving program. So it will take something like a screenshot that does hypermedia, but only what is visible on the page without clicking anything. Scrible also can't capture videos, animations, or sound on those web pages. If that kind of data is really important to you, I recommend trying Conifer by Rhizome. Conifer is a wonderful high fidelity web archiving amazing tool. It's also free, up to 5 gigabytes of data, and it is capable of capturing things like video and interaction with a website, which is incredibly useful. The reason why I don't use Conifer is because I can't log into my Facebook account through Conifer. It goes through, several servers, and Facebook every time locks me out. I have to create a new password, and then I still can't use Conifer to log into the Facebook groups that I am a member of as part of my research. So Conifer does not work in my personal circumstances, but it may work for yours if you are looking to archive pretty much anything other than Facebook. That being said, Scribe isn't perfect on Facebook. In addition to not being able to capture certain types of things, at the moment, the formatting is a little wonky because there have been recent user interface changes, and Scribe hasn't been tuned to make up for those differences yet. But I have faith that those little problems in time will be straightened out, and Scribe is still the most useful tool for my purposes as a researcher. Thanks for joining me for this brief exploration of the program Scribe and how it can be used to take digitally native field notes that preserve hypermedia on Facebook. If you have any questions about this tool or about digital anthropology in general, please feel free to contact me. My email, my website, and my Twitter handle are on the screen. If you have a program that you particularly like that you think would be applicable to my project, please don't hesitate to let me know. As you can tell from the title of this talk, Hacking Field Notes, I love learning about new tools and new ways to hack research. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and take care.